Football and in that wild AFC West, it's the Chargers making a move. They're against the Bears. Mike and Joe on the call, guys.
Thank you, Chris. This is Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, where we have a record crowd of more than 63,000 to watch the Chicago Bears take on the San Diego Chargers.
My focus is to be the hunter, you know, to seek it out, to seek out the pass to the run and really attack him. You grab anything that's there, whether it's flesh, jersey, helmet, face mask, you're going to go down. You can dream and you can go out there and perform. We've got to be performers, not dreamers. If you want to go head to head and show your ego, I'll be there.
Last week, the Bears blew a golden opportunity to gain ground in their division. Now they have to get back on track to stay in the NFC wildcard race. San Diego can stay within 2 games of the division lead in the AFC West with a win tonight, and every team in this division is still thinking playoffs. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick along with Joe Theismann. It's great to have you with us. After winning the division last year, a lot was expected of the San Diego Chargers, but like last year, they got off to a slow start. The offense produced only 6 touchdowns in the first 6 games. And with John Friesz at quarterback, they've had 7 touchdowns in the last 2 games, both of them big road wins.
Well, Mike, John Friesz has done what the Chargers want their quarterbacks to do. In the last 2 weeks, he has not thrown an interception. He has also gotten the ball in the hands of Anthony Miller and Ronnie Harmon. And these are the guys that have to be productive for the Chargers to move the ball.
Tonight, they'll be facing a Bears defense that has carried the team. Only one club in the NFL has allowed fewer points. What are they going to do against that unit?
Well, what they have to do is they have to run the football. And the reason why is they must run the football to get the safeties of the Bears involved in trying to stop the run. That will open up the passing game. I also mentioned that they have to get the ball in the hands of Miller and Harmon. They have to do it, yeah, but they have to do it early and let these guys establish themselves in the game.
Dave Wannstedt came to the Bears with a reputation as a defensive genius after his work in Dallas, and he hasn't done anything in Chicago to harm that reputation. His team's averaging 13.8 points a game against. They have great statistics in the other categories. They should be better than 3 and 5.
Ah, you say they should be better than 3 and 5, and that's the truth. The problem really is stemmed from the lack of offense, and I mean the lack of offense. They have had very big problems on the offensive line. They've struggled there. They also can't find a big playmaker. So what do the Bears have to do tonight to win the football game? First of all, they must create defensive turnovers. Then the offense must capitalize on those turnovers. Also, Jim Harbaugh must be protected. He's been sacked 17 times in the last 3 games. But the big thing that Dave Wannstedt is looking for in this game, either on offense, defense, or special teams, he's looking for somebody to come up with big plays.
There's Dave Wannstedt, the longtime assistant in college, then having such a great success under Jimmy Johnson in Dallas with a defensive scheme that had the Cowboys ranked #1. Bobby Ross, virtually a consensus choice as Coach of the Year in his rookie season, winning the AFC West for the first time since 1981. Chicago Bears have won the toss, and they will receive before a record crowd of 63,000. They've added some seats here. Biggest crowd ever to see a Chargers game in this stadium. John Carney, who qualified as the offense early, is set to kick off. You see his touchback percentage lower than the league average. The man in the middle, Curtis Conway, the rookie out of USC, standing at the goal line. Nice kick by Carney. Conway a yard deep. Good return teams for both clubs, and Conway can't get past the 10-yard line. For the Bears on offense, Jim Harbaugh is taking a beating, sacked 29 times, the most of any quarterback in the league. The passing game is last in the NFL. Tom Waddle uses quickness, not speed, to find open spots. He is a courageous possession receiver, but no deep threat. Mark Bortz, the only starter left from that great offensive line in the mid-'80s. When he's healthy, Bortz is still a quality player. Harbaugh to throw on first down. Good protection, and dropped by Neil Anderson out at the 14-yard line. Take a look at the Chargers defense. As always, Leslie O'Neal among the game leaders in sacks. He has 7. Speed or power rush, he's one of the best. Junior Seau could be the finest player in the game today. A brilliant run stopper. He's also a great cover man. The secondary has had problems, but Darren Carrington continues to be the ball hawk. 8 interceptions in a year and a half. In the nickel, first-round draft choice Darian Gordon adds speed to the secondary. They think he needs work on his technique. Bob Christian, number 44, checks into the backfield for the Bears on 2nd and 10 along with Hayward. Harbaugh throws short, incomplete. Would have been a short game, intended for Conway.
I'll tell you, I really like the way the Bears have tried to start the game. You want to give Jim Harbaugh confidence, so you give him a couple of short passes to make the play. The first one is dropped by Neil Anderson. You can't do anything about that. Now he tries to get it out to the lone wide receiver when they move Waddle in, and that one's a little bit low in the ground. I like the idea, but you got to get the execution.
In this game, it's not the thought that counts. Darian Gordon is in as part of the nickel package. Pressure on Harbaugh, throws the out, incomplete, intended for his tight end, Chris Gedney. Here is a kid that they are delighted to have back. Tremendous player out of Syracuse, who has been hurt almost all year, but it's 3 and out for the Chicago Bears.
And 3 passes, too. It's not like they tried to hammer the ball. They realized that this San Diego Charger defense is ranked 28th in the league, so they figure they may try and take a shot at it.
Gardocki to kick to the rookie Gordon, 2nd in the AFC, averaging 13.4 yards a return. Beautiful high sailing kick, and Gordon will make the fair catch at midfield. A punt of 39 and no return. San Diego's offense, John Friesz, had been starting because of Stan Humphrey's injury, but after showing accuracy and poise, he's earned the job. Anthony Miller off to the best start of his career, on track for yet another 1,000-yard season. He's been to 3 Pro Bowls. Courtney Hall uses his quickness to handle bigger defenders and may be the best in the NFL, making line calls. As a 3rd down back, Ronnie Harmon is the best, although his numbers are down from last year's career season. Chargers start with excellent field position. And Friesz to throw on first down. Unload. Miller. And knocked away at the last minute, Donnell Wolford, who is having a great year at corner and has turned into a tremendous cover guy.
What a great matchup. These are 2 great athletes with great speed, great physical attributes. You're going to see something here. On the left side of your screen, Anthony Miller. Now they're about even. Watch the burst of speed he can put on. Look at that little acceleration. But yet Donnell reaches out with the hand closest to the ball, his left hand, and swats it away. If he'd have tried to knock it away with his right, never would have happened.
So the Chargers go for 6 on the first play. Harmon, the man in motion. Butts on the draw. First man to get a piece of him was Dante Jones, the middle linebacker, and slowed him up. On defense, Richard Dent having his best season since breaking his leg 5 years ago. 7.5 sacks, only 1 less than all of last year. Dante Jones waited behind Mike Singletary for 5 seasons. He's now making the most of his chance, averaging over 12 tackles a game. And Wolford, who you just saw, has developed into an excellent corner. He has a feel for and an understanding of that position. 3rd call at 7 for the Chargers on their opening possession. Bears bringing an extra defensive back and rush 3. Friesz, the screen to Harmon. Got a block, got a first down. Dante Jones made the tackle, a gain of 11. And, Joe, I enjoy watching Ronnie Harmon as much as anybody in this entire league.
Oh, I agree with you, Mike. He's just a great athlete, and as soon as he gets his hands on the ball, you know something's going to happen. There he is offset to the left. He's going to block a little bit and then slide out, give the line a chance to get out in front of him. Slides in, figures he's going to help. That move set. Now watch him set his blockers up. See how he cuts in behind him? Comes in behind Courtney Hall, just picks it up for the first down.
Spotted at the Bears 37. Butts slips through a hole and dives to the 30-yard line. John Friesz, the starter in 91, missed all of 1992 with the knee injury, and right now he is playing courtesy of the injury to Stan Humphries. That's how he got his job back.
Well, and Stan wasn't playing well. Stan Humphries had an injury that he tried to play through, but really it was a problem with his right throwing shoulder, and it was a 6 to 8 week injury that he just didn't give time to heal. He is 100% now.
But Friesz playing well enough to certainly keep his job. And as long as the Chargers win, he'll stay there. Friesz to Miller. Depending on the spot, he should have enough for a first down, and does just outside the 25-yard line. Wolford makes the tackle.
The two guys that the San Diego Chargers want to get in the game early, Ronnie Harmon, Anthony Miller. You saw the third down play to Harmon. That means Harmon's head is now in the game. You saw just a little quick hitch. Of course, they tried to go big to Anthony, didn't complete it. Came back, hit him with the little hitch, something positive. All of a sudden, both these guys' heads are in the game.
Johnny Barnes, number 85, is in. Butts inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. Dante Jones again made the tackle. A guy who waited so patiently behind the legend, Mike Singletary. Jones, Big 8 player of the year when he played in college at Oklahoma. Just a tremendous player there. He's leading this club in tackles. And even though he's been around 5 years, hasn't played that much, they have to give him a chance to grow into the role, and he is. Butts on 2nd and 8. Near the 15. When he goes airborne, people clear out.
250-pound plane taken off. Wannstedt says, we got to bring him down. Watch the left side of this Charger line. They create a little bubble. He gets into the bubble. Now the rest he does on his own. He leaves the ground at about the 30-yard line, and he's sailing now. I mean, you're not going to take him down. Sean Gale's trying, but you're not going to take him down when he's 250 pounds in the air.
It's Mike Zandowski, the starting left guard, who they got in a trade from Phoenix 3 years ago. He's playing because Eric Moten, who was the starting left guard, injured a knee and is gone for the year. We'll check on Zandowski's condition when we come back. 0-0, opening moments, first quarter.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by Isuzu, makers of incredible four-wheel drives. By Bud Dry, the less filling beer with a lot more taste. Why? Ask why. And by GE. From aircraft engines to appliances, we bring good things to life.
Zandowski on the sideline, able to walk off under his own power, and third-round draft choice out of Michigan, Joe Capuzzo, is in his place. Here's Natron Means with his first carry, throws for the end zone. Miller, and he couldn't get that high to bring it down. Wide open. There wasn't anybody within 10 yards.
Anthony Miller's going to come down and fake like he's going to block. You'll see it. Here's Anthony Miller. He's going to come down fake, and he's going to wind up. Now, penetration does not allow Means to make the throw. He holds it longer than he wants to. There comes a great penetration. That's the problem right there. Great job by Sean Gale. Disrupts the timing of this particular trick play. Coaches don't like to call them trick plays, but that's what they are.
2nd and 10. Friesz with a draw. Harmon to the 10. Finally cut down by Jeremy Lincoln. They need to get just inside the 6 for the first down.
Watch this shot from our goalpost cam. You see him start through the line. Now he reads the middle linebacker. Now watch what he does to Sean Gale, number 23. A little shake at the 15, and it picks up 5 more yards. Right here, watch it. Woo! Head and shoulders going one way, him going the other.
Third and 4. Harmon hit at the 10. Dante Jones just came up and filled the hole. Harmon never had a chance.
Dante Jones doing an excellent job. You see him right here. He's going to read the back. He's going to see Harmon. Harmon's going this way. He's going to fill right into the hole. Slides along. Just doesn't hesitate at all. Finds a nice gap to get through. They can't get to him. Derek Walker, number 89, trying to make the block, but he closed the gap too soon.
Carney comes on for a 28-yard field goal, having a great year, 18 of 22. 2 of the misses were blocks. And the man who holds the NFL record for consecutive field goals at 29 puts the Chargers on the board from 28 yards away. It's 3-0. San Diego draws first blood on the 28-yard John Carney field goal.
This is how technology in football has changed. See this machine right here? Now that machine is putting out pictures that the players can look at as the defenses form or as the offensive formations form. And that's all he does. There's the picture right there. That's all you're looking at. That's what Wojo's looking at. Now he says, I don't need it anymore. I saw enough. I threw it away.
Carney to kick once again. Conway is the deep man waiting at the goal line. Conway from the 2. Dumped at the 15 this time. Excellent special teams by the Chargers. Darren Carrington made the tackle. And that scoring drive, 5 minutes and 28 seconds. They didn't get the touchdown, came away with the field goal. And the Bears have to feel good about that.
Key play right here is a penetration by the safety to throw off the timing. See Sean Gale get up the field. It forced Natrone Means to change his delivery and throw the ball a little bit late.
The Bears on their first possession threw it 3 times. They go to the run with Anderson on the toss. And Anderson 5 yards out to the 20. Bears offensive line, this is not the group of guys you've been used to seeing for 10 years. Bort's the only starter from that line in '85 that was the Super Bowl champion. And you could see it coming really for a couple of years, Joe, that they were all getting old and getting hurt together.
That's what happens when so many of them are so good over such a long period of time.
2nd and 5, Chargers with a blitz. And the run blitz works as Christian is dumped by Junior Seau.
Well, you can make a case for a lot of the best linebacker in football today. He'd get a vote. He's just going to fire right up the middle. He's a middle linebacker. Nobody blocks him. You know, yes, that's a great play by Junior Seau, but also I think anybody could be really great if they didn't have anybody to block him, too. So credit him for understanding what the offensive line's going to do, but also that Bear offensive line's got to wonder who's going to block number 55.
Somebody better. The Chargers second in the NFL against the run. Screen to Christian. And he just got back to the line of scrimmage. Guess who? Seau. Not only can he play the run, he is a brilliant cover guy. Bobby Ross said he could return punts or kickoffs, play anything else on the field.
See him key. He goes back. He reads. Now he finds the back, fights off Perry, and makes the tackle. I mean, hardly had to fight him off at all.
Gardocki. Beautiful high punt. There's a flag down as Gardocki was hit. Eric Bieniemy trying to get a piece of the kicker, trying to get a piece of the ball. Instead, got a piece of Gardocki. Now, will it be roughing or running into? A 5-yard penalty would be just short of a first down. And if you can read lips, it's roughing.
A lot of time kickers do a nice job of faking this to get the referee to make the call.
Personal foul, number 32 on the defense, roughing the kicker, running into the plant leg, first down.
He comes around the corner. Now he lays out, and he just takes a bad angle. I think it's a good call by the official. Running into the plant leg, you can seriously hurt somebody. Good call.
They're so exposed, I'd much rather see him call it that way than the other. Play action to Anderson. Harbaugh running for his life. O'Neal knocks the ball loose. Chargers have it. Leslie O'Neal with the strip, and Sean Lee gets the football.
Leslie O'Neal was the guy they wanted to protect. They want to help out. They don't want to leave him one-on-one. You're going to see him get great pressure, play action fake, but you can't block him alone. Ozine gets beat inside. That's not the place you can let him go. He's going to take a direct shot at the quarterback. Result, fumble, Chargers ball, 21-yard line.
O'Neal, one of several big play people on the Chargers defense. Friesz with Butts behind him, two wide receivers, and the H-back is Walker. Excuse me, Dwayne Young. Friesz with time, end zone overthrown to Jefferson. Double coverage back there, good coverage by Wolford and Gale.
Tony Wise, the offensive line coach, and I'll guarantee you what he's telling Troy Ozine is, listen, what you can't do is you cannot let Leslie go inside on any kind of passes, whether they're play action passes or whether they're dropbacks. Leslie O'Neal felt like he likes playing against the NFCs because he says these guys like to take you one-on-one. I feel like I can have a big game.
He already has. 2nd and 10 for the Chargers, already leading 3-0. Comes the blitz, draw to Butts. And a saving tackle by Vincent Smith. Dave Wannstedt engineered a trade with Jimmy Johnson to get him from Dallas. And I asked Dave Wannstedt last night if he believed in speed as much as Jimmy Johnson. He said, you bet. That's what does it now.
You're going to eventually see the Chicago Bears take on a great similarity to the way the Dallas Cowboy organization is run. And they did it from management to ownership. There is no middleman between Dave Wannstedt and Mike McCaskey.
3rd and 10. Harmon in motion. Harmon flanker screen. Couldn't slip a tackle, about a yard shy of a first down. It will bring up a 4th and 1, and it was Dante Jones who saved the first down yardage. Here comes the field goal team. Well, that's a nice play for Harmon to get him free that way.
It really is. We saw Tony Martin of the Miami Dolphins run a long touchdown run against that last year. You see a lot of young college football teams run it because they get that great athlete outside, and Ronnie Harmon is, of course, a great athlete.
Carney, who was already connected from 28, will try this one from 30. And it's blocked. And goes into the end zone.
Danny Abramowitz, the special teams coach of the Chicago Bears.
Number 98, Carl Simpson, gets credit for the block. It stays 3-0.
Electronics store.
Second-round draft choice who pays off with a blocked field goal to keep the score at 3-0. And the Bears need something to get started on offense. They have -8 yards in total offense first quarter. Conway knocked away at the last minute. Sean Van Horst finally closed the gap. The ball underthrown, or it's a touchdown.
They felt like the corners of the San Diego Chargers were vulnerable to pump and goes. Conway comes out, does a little hesitation. Van Horst bites on it. The ball's got to be up now. It's got to be up earlier. This is Harbaugh's fault, not Conway's. This ball has got to go up. As soon as the guy bites on a fake, you got to get it up in the air. Jim waited a little too long on that particular play.
And big plays. It's certainly not been in the Chicago Bears arsenal this year. Last in the league. Neil Anderson may be one. Let's go back to the field goal block, Joe. What happened?
Well, what happens is Tim Ryan and Carl Simpson line up. There's Simpson. Now, Ryan's out here. They're going to go right at the shoulder of this guard, and Simpson's going to come right inside of him. See, there's the push. They isolate. They get 3-on-2 people. He manages to get great penetration and gets his hand up. Knows exactly where he has to go to get the ball.
4:34 to go first half. The Bears just trying to get a first down and keep the football. Harbaugh sacked. The pocket just collapsed. Chris Mims, 290 pounds out of Tennessee. Here's a guy who never lifted a weight in his life until he became a pro football player.
This is just pure power, which is something they really love to see out of Mims. You'll see him come over the right side. He's just going to come flying. He moves Perry aside, throws him away. That's that upper body strength that they've tried to get him to have.
The Chicago Bears have spent the entire first quarter inside their own 20. Gardocki with another high soaring punt. Fair catch made by Gordon. A 39-yard kick, no return. Once again, the Chargers with great field position. 3-0 Chargers, and that aerial shot courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, which is based in Carson, California. The pilot, John Creighton from Redondo Beach, having to put up with a little Southern California rain the last couple of days. But they're doing just fine, thanks. The Chargers huddling around the offensive coaching staff, coming out late. This is their worst field position, their own 45-yard line. Natron Means is in the backfield. Percy Snow, number 96, playing middle linebacker for the Bears. Means. The Chargers describe him as Marion Butts with quick feet. It's a little scary.
Brought down by number 90, Alonzo Snowman.
When Stan Humphries was playing quarterback, the offensive numbers were way down, Joe. They've exploded with Friesz in there.
Well, I think what's indicative is you see the short pass receivers, Walker and Harmon, weren't affected very much because of Humphries' sore arm. But the deep receivers, Lewis and Miller, really were.
2nd and 3. Means, student body rush, first down and more. It's exciting to see a guy that big who is that light on his feet.
I thought Sly Grooms, the running back coach of the Chargers, put it as well as anybody. He said he's 240 pounds, and what he does is he runs like a tailback at 205. Look at the niftiness. I mean, really nifty. A nifty 240. A little slide in left, a little dance off your toe, and bang, you pick up 6-7 yards.
And then at the end, lower the head and use the power.
That's where the 240 comes in.
Walker is the up man in the eye, the H-back in front of Means. They'll give it to him again. Look at this. Natron Means gets 10. Mark Carrier came up from the safety spot to make the tackle.
That's 10, 5 on one leg, 5 on two legs. This is where I think he really separates himself. It's the move in the hole. He makes people miss. Coming out of the tailback, the eye spot, through the hole, now slides, just sort of drags that foot through, it comes through, keeps his balance, and when he's locked up one-on-one on a safety, it is a mismatch.
It's another Bobby Beathard draft day deal where he exchanged multiple picks with the 49ers in order to draft the young man in the 2nd round, and we've watched Bobby Beathard throughout his career do that, give up firsts plus other draft choices for seconds, and they always seem to pan out.
Here's a guy who's come on really late. Look at the yards per carry. In the first 6 games, it's 2.7, and in the last 2, it's 5.6. And that also has to do with the offensive line finally starting to gel for the Chargers. We talked about the problems with the Bears. The Chargers, through the early part of the season, had the same problems up front.
Butts comes back in as Means looked like he was a little dinged. There's no relief from big backs in this offense. Second and less than a yard. And Friesz wants to use the 3 down. That's the first down to Miller. And Miller out of bounds to 25. Wolford makes the tackle.
Isn't it interesting? Anthony Miller sort of disappeared for about 5 minutes or so, right? Now all of a sudden, they're not going to let him get very far out of the game. Believe me, wide receivers get into head games. If you leave them standing out there, they're like outfielders in a game that don't get a ball hit to them. They start looking around at the crowd and listening to you, but they're not paying attention. They're not going to let Anthony get out of this game.
It has been all Chargers so far. Means is back in there. First and 10 from the 25. The Bears defense facing a lot of pressure. Means got a nice block off the right side. Cuts back. 10, 5 to the 1. Natron Means, the rookie out of North Carolina, finally stopped by Joe Kane, but it's a gain of 24, and he's rushed for 46 in the first quarter.
Joe Malinichik, 71, Stan Brock, 67. There they are. Watch the block that they put out here and give him a chance and an opportunity to run. Brock gets out. They're just doing a great job of giving him lanes to run to.
They're also doing this with the rookie left guard, Joe Kakuzo. But whacked. May have lost a yard. Boy, did he get drilled to the line of scrimmage. Trace Armstrong, who said his first goal this year is to stay healthy.
Ron Cox, number 54, is going to come in from the side. He's just going to come flying in and make the play. He actually comes in, buries the fullback, Hendricks, which allows the pursuit to come. See him? He stops up that hole. He doesn't get credit for the tackle. He should get an assist.
Hendricks in the up man in the eye. Means dives, didn't make it. The Bears tied for second in the NFL in allowing points inside the red zone. And that will be the end of the first quarter. The Chargers have dominated, yet they only lead 3-0.
Team's player of the day.
Who else but Jerry Rice? 4 touchdown passes from Steve Young as the Niners rolled the Buccaneers. He's now 3rd on the all-time touchdown list with 118, 5th on the all-time list in catches. Hey, Mike, this just in. He's good.
Hey, Boomer, there ought to be a different standard for him. 4 touchdowns shouldn't qualify him for play.
You count as 2.
Got to do better than that.
Every 2 he gets, you count as 1.
3rd and goal for the Chargers from the 2.
You know, Mike, you get down around the goal line, it becomes attitude. The Bears are showing the attitude. They don't want to be pushed back. The Chargers have to try and do it if they're going to get in the end zone.
Harmon is in. No running backs behind Friesz. Slant pattern to Miller, and Wolford was right there. Donnell Wolford has made 3 big plays in this first half. And here comes the field goal unit.
This is a pass that's got to get out quick. We saw Harbaugh late on the go. Now Friesz is holding this too long. He throws and sort of hangs it in the middle. He allows Donnell Wolford to get inside. Again, he uses that left hand to get around Miller and swat the ball away. Donnell Wolford's having himself one heck of a night.
And this defense for the Bears is really hanging in there. Carney had the one blocked, made it from 28. This will be from 20. Basically an extra point out of the hold of John Kidd. Fake. John Kidd trying to run him in. Touchdown. How's that for guts and making a call?
Well, you know, that says an awful lot for having a guy who's an athlete be your holder. Here's a guy who had played quarterback for a long time. Great hands because he's the punter. You can do a lot of things when you have a guy with his athletic ability holding. Great scouting. You've got to give an awful lot of credit to Chuck Pfeiffer and the special teams coach for the San Diego Chargers.
Now maybe they'll fake the extra point.
Get two.
Kid was recruited out of high school as a quarterback and free safety, but had back problems and just got his first career touchdown in the NFL. Carney with the point after. And the Chargers couldn't find a way to pound it in, so they tricked them.
What this is the Bears are on an emotional high. They've just stopped the Chargers for the second time. They're going to force them now. See how they're lined up over here? Everybody wants to rush. So Kid's just going to come out. They're going to run it off. He'll run in the end zone. Here comes a big rush. We got it. We got it. Inside. Oh, no. There he goes. Gary Plummer just hit somebody. Notice how he fakes it, puts the ball down. That sets up the fake right there. Plummer's out front, number 50. No, he's not going to throw it to you, Gar. You don't do that, not when it's that open.
And Carl Simpson gave it every effort, but Kidd sneaked across the goal line. And that's got to be a big emotional play, Joe. You mentioned the emotion of having stopped them. Now they've stopped them every time, kept them out of the end zone on 3 drives. Now they're down 10-0. The defense knows the offense has done absolutely nothing with it so far.
The Bears defense has played sensationally. You can't fault their special teams. They're trying to make a play. You got to give a lot of credit to great scouting on the Chargers' part. They've held it back. They saw the opportunity. They took advantage of it. It's done. If nothing else, even if it didn't succeed, after they blocked the previous one, it would slow them down to try and block it again. Remember, this comes on the heel of having a field goal attempt blocked.
Exactly. Carney set to kick off. Conway waits at the goal line. Kicking into a slight breeze. Nowhere to go. Conway buried inside the 15-yard line, and the kick coverage teams of the Chargers have been tremendous. Lewis Bush makes the tackle on special teams. Of course, I know you're with us every Sunday at noon Eastern when we bring you NFL Game Day with Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, Chris Mortensen, and Joe Theismann, providing the most comprehensive pregame show in the NFL. Then at 7, prime time, all the highlights of all the games. Then at 8 o'clock, Joe and I will be in Tampa as the Vikings take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Huge win today for the Vikings, wasn't it?
What a great comeback, too. They were down 17-3, 20-3. Came back.
Albert Fontenot, the injured player, will check on his condition when we come back. 10-0 Lightning Bolts.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. And by American Airlines. Something special in the air.
San Diego leading at 10-0. Albert Fontenot, the rookie defensive lineman for the Chicago Bears, had to be helped off the field. And here the Bears with a football again. They have done absolutely nothing with it in the first half. They blew one chance to score on a bomb. Tim Worley is in at running back, and Worley is tripped up by Leslie O'Neal. Just got back to the line of scrimmage. NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue, and
that's
to
him.
his left,
and
Alex Spanos, the owner of the San Diego Chargers. Thank you.
There they are.
Worley picked up from the Pittsburgh Steelers. They really think he can help this ball club. Out in the flat, complete to the tight end Keith Jennings, and Jennings run out of bounds by Donald Frank, who was replacing Gil Byrd, the brilliant cornerback, who's out for the year with a knee injury.
Again, he ran into a teammate of his on the sidelines, Craig Hayward, 300 pounds of him, 300 and a cough. There you go. You got your first down. Jim saying, all right, now we get going. The defense is on the sidelines cheering for him now. I mean, there they are, ranked 28th in the league in plays over 20 yards.
But San Diego is last in the league at allowing those kind of plays. You think the Bears would be able to hit one, but so far they've had one opportunity and missed it. Harbaugh under pressure, floats it out in the flat. Knocked out of bounds by Van Horst up at the 38-yard line.
I'm going to make a prediction here. Tim Worley is going to be a real contributor in the NFL from this point on. I think he's found a home in Chicago. He gives them size, speed, great athletic ability in the running back position. He's going to make himself a mark there. I really believe that.
And Neil Anderson, of course, the guy who has carried the leather for so long as a running back, who really hasn't been the same back in the last 3 years that he was before. And as you said, Worley may be the answer to that problem. Worley. Gang tackled across the 40 to about the 42. Of course, he had the well-documented drug problems in Pittsburgh, suspended for parts of 91 and 92. He said he is the kind of guy who can overcome that and knew he had to get into treatment. And only Barry Sanders was taken higher as a running back in the '89 draft. Certainly a world of potential coming out of the University of Georgia. And he'll get a breather. And Neil Anderson checks back in, the 8-year veteran from Florida. Junior looking to make a play on 2nd and 6. Here comes the blitz. Harbaugh hangs in there and had it tipped. Hendrickson was all over Neil Anderson, but since the ball had been tipped, it wouldn't be interference. And Plummer was the man who created the problems up the middle and then tipped the ball.
You see an awful lot of batted balls in the league, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's so much pressure coming from the front 4 or 5 up front that the quarterback is so close to the line of scrimmage they can't make the completions 4 yards down the field.
Bears have had very little success on 3rd down this year. They face a 3rd and 6. Another blitz. Harbaugh somehow got out of there. Trying for the 1st down, and he got very close to the marker at the 48-yard line. Somehow escaped all that pressure. Darian Gordon made the tackle. If what you're looking for in a quarterback is guts, Jim Harbaugh is it.
He has. He's taken a pounding. Marquez Pope, number 30, is going to come flying. See him come flying up there? He comes flying up, forces Harbaugh inside. He has to be under more control. If he's coming clean, he's got to know the down and distance, and he's got to wait for help. His job is to isolate and contain. Doesn't have to go running by, which he did.
No slide for Harbaugh, diving for the sticks. Have to bring the change in from across the lane. He's short. Dave Wannstedt, who knows offense is his major headache with this club. He has upgraded special teams. The defense has played well, and he'll send Gardocki onto the field to presumably punt here on 4th and a foot.
If you're looking for a positive from the Bear offense, they got a couple of 1st downs. They moved the ball to a place where Gardocki can now put the Chargers back deep in their own territory.
Barring a big return, it would be the first time they had the ball inside their own 45 tonight. Gardocki, another high soaring kick. Gordon trying to get over for the fair catch and makes it at the 17-yard line, a punt of 36. But again, no return, and the Bears offensive line trying to find a way to get it done. Back in San Diego, 11:30 to go, 1st half. San Diego leading it 10-0. This week marked the end of an era in Chicago football as the Bears waved goodbye to William the Refrigerator Perry. His legend was born on Monday night versus Green Bay when, lining up as a fullback, the 300-pound-plus defensive tackle scored a touchdown. Later that year, he added the exclamation point to the Bears' devastating 46-10 win over the Patriots in Super Bowl 19. The Friesz, released after 9 years with the Bears. Tough thing for Dave Wannstedt to do, Joe.
It was, but he's done a lot. He's released some of the older guys, and he's starting to replace them now.
Said he respected what they have done, but for some, it's the end of the line. Natron Means trying to break the tackle, got out to about the 19-yard line. Each coach has his own personality, the guys that he wants to bring in and do the certain things that he wants to do. And I think when you look at Perry, who had become a backup player with his team, when you want younger guys as backups, especially considering the salary cap next year.
Absolutely. And what Dave Wannstedt did is he really gave these guys an opportunity to be a part of the ball club. He felt they worked very hard through training camp, was proud of the job they've done, appreciated it, but now he has to move on and build his football team.
Harmon and Bieniemy in the backfield behind Friesz. Plenty of time to throw. Harmon chased out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Joe Kane, another one of the speed linebackers who was underused in Seattle, and Dave Wannstedt wanted his running ability in there.
And the reason why Friesz had time to throw was because of Harry Swain, number 72, blocking on Richard Dent. Has a lot of respect for Dent. Says he's the old sly fox. Uses a lot of moves. Gave Friesz an opportunity to make the completion to Harmon.
Third down, about 4 yards to go for San Diego. He just joined us. The Chargers on a fake field goal scored their only touchdown and lead 10-0. Friesz finally hit low and dumped at the 15-yard line. Steve McMichael, the 14-year veteran from Texas, will get credit for the sack. You saw Richard Dent flash by and barely miss, and then McMichael burrowed under.
What incredible concentration by Friesz. He didn't even see McMichael coming because McMichael rolled into his feet and really bowled him over.
John Kidd to punt. Terry Obie waits the 43. He's had a tough time on some decisions this year. Makes the fair catch signal, barely, and takes it at the 45, punt of 39 yards. For tomorrow night at 7:30, hope you'll join us for NFL Prime Monday. Mike Tirico, Tom Jackson, Craig James will preview the Monday night game between the Bills and the Steelers. Live reports from Three River Stadium with Mark Malone. Chris Mortensen will have all the league's breaking news. And downtown, Julie Brown will talk with Bills defensive end Bruce Smith. All that and a lot more on NFL Prime Monday, 7:30 Eastern tomorrow night. My partner gets the night off, considering we're on the West Coast.
Yeah, be a little tough to get back.
Bears with their best field position, Anderson and Ironhead in the backfield. Play action by Harbaugh. Conway. What a tackle by Hendrickson. Hendrickson is a guy who has hung around this league on his versatility. He said this is what he's been waiting for all his life, to be able to start at left linebacker. He's replacing Gerald Williams, who they got on Plan B and who is out with an injury.
This is a tough thing for a linebacker. Flow is away, but yet he still manages to recover. Now watch this. He reaches out with one hand and just hangs on. That's an awful lot of great strength.
First down, Bears. Whirling. Spins off a tackle inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line.
We talked about the San Diego Chargers getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers, Miller and Harmon. I think what the Bears have to do is they've got to get number 87, Tom Waddle, the football somehow. Get him into this game. Somehow or other, every time Tom Waddle gets his hands on a ball, something good happens.
And Waddle, without that great speed, has even found himself double covered this year. The ultimate compliment for a possession receiver. Sean Van Horst on him right there. Worley. What a tackle coming up from the safety. The sheriff, Stanley Richard, made the arrest in a hurry.
When you don't throw the ball down the field, you get the safeties coming up in run support in a hurry. Stanley Richards, he's got no reason to go back. They haven't thrown the ball down the field, so he's just going to hang around the line of scrimmage. If he's not there, Worley's got himself a big game.
It's a tackle on a 225-pound running back. I guess they teach you to bulldog him in Texas. 3rd and 2 for the Bears. Worley behind Ironhead. First down. Dave Wannstedt said Ironhead Hayward is the best blocking fullback he had ever seen. He just crushes people.
Well, he weighs more than most tackles in the league. I'm guessing somewhere 310, 20, somewhere up there. Once he gets momentum and he takes on a 180-pound defensive back, it's no contest. Here he is. Hey, look at it. He takes on a linebacker. Hendrickson just drives him back.
First down Bears just outside the 30. They're down 10-0. Worley. There's a run blitz, and Hendrickson, the first man there, grabbed him around the knees.
And on to number 38, Tim Worley.
5-year man out of California.
Well, if you're Steve Hendrickson, you're going to get a headache if this happens all day. Watch number 45. He knocks down Bert Grossman right after Jenkins hits him. There's one. Here's the other. That's getting bent back.
2nd and 9. Hayward listed at 290 for a fictitious weight. Chargers come with another blitz. Anderson, and he is drilled as soon as he got it. The sheriff is back in town.
See, I just think that's great coaching football. Bill Arnsparger knows, and he says, all right, if I come with a blitz, if you're an offense, you have to go to a blitz break-off pass. Those passes are designed to pick up 3 and 4 yards and hopefully break it for the touchdown. In this case, it puts a lot of pressure on the defensive back to make the tackle. That's exactly what we saw in that play.
You talk to players about Arnsparger, the affection and the respect is incredible. 245 yards total offense for the Bears. As an average, they have 46 tonight. Another big rush. Anderson trying to get the first down, and he does. Carrington pushed him out of bounds. Trying to roll away from the pressure a little bit.
I like what the Bears are doing on offense. You've seen Harbaugh drop and roll to the left. That time you saw him sprint out. They're not going to give him an opportunity to sit back and just get banged around. Dave Wannstedt wanted to move it. Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator, told us last night, I can't afford to let him sit back there and just sit in the pocket.
Been sacked 29 times this year, the most of any quarterback. That's 29 coming into this game. Anderson slipped as he tried to make a second cut and got near the 16-yard line where Gary Plummer was on him.
Think along with me here, Mike. Waddle's not the fastest guy, and he told us last night he perfects things up to 20 yards because that's where he feels like he can be effective. Now you're on the 16-yard line. You've got to figure out a way to get him the ball. I think down here, he's the guy that can make a play for you. Wannstedt's looking for playmakers. He could be one.
Inside the 20, the Bears on offense, at least 75% down the list of NFL teams and everything. There is Waddle flanked out to the right. Harbaugh back the other way, throws for the end zone, incomplete. That could have been caught by Keith Jennings, the tight end, off his hands. You talked to Dave Wannstedt last night about having guys making plays. There's a play that could have been made, and it wasn't.
You know, the ball's not going to be perfect. Harbaugh does a nice job of getting around, leads them. There's a throw. You know, you're talking about a guy who's 260 pounds as a tight end. His asset is that of a blocker, not of a pass receiver. Evidence that on the last play.
3rd and 7. Harbaugh for Anderson on the wrong side, had to turn around and couldn't get it. Hendrickson on the coverage along with Carrington.
The Chargers are thinking along like I am. Maybe Waddle's the guy they want to get the ball to. They're not going to let him. Here's one guy up on his nose. Now as he goes down the field, there's the safety that picks him up. Chargers figure, all right, Waddle's been your big play guy. We're not going to let you throw the ball. We're going to make you go someplace else with it.
Kevin Butler, who was the GOAT of last week's game with 2 missed field goals in the 4th quarter, still having a great season, comes on to try from 33. And hooks it through. Bears get on the scoreboard. They're down by a touchdown. 2nd quarter. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann with you. We're in San Diego. 4:52 to go, first half of play. The scoring drive, 39 yards went the Bears offense, and Kevin Butler had a 33-yard field goal to get them on the scoreboard. The enemy across the 20 to about the 21.
At the 5-yard line by Eric the enemy.
From one of the world's most enduring corporate symbols, the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, these aerial shots over Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. The Eagle is out of Carson, California. And Goodyear blimps have been flying over major sporting events since 1925. We haven't been doing it that long, but we're shooting for it.
It's our record. 50 years.
Marion Butts, the running back behind Friesz. Butts will get the call. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
You know, it's interesting. The Bears, both offensively and defensively under Dave Wanstead, have gone through a philosophical change. For example, on defense, they used to be what's called a two-gap style defense with their front people. That means that you take a guy head on and you have to protect either gap on either side. That has changed now. The defensive linemen have one gap that they have to try and get their head through to get penetration into the offensive backfield.
One of the reasons that Chris Zorich has been able to make an impact on the defensive line. Friesz under pressure and throws too high for Marion Butts. And then Friesz was planted on his keister by Dent.
The thing you have to be key of is when you're in an aggressive style of defense, watch the heads of these defensive linemen get up the field. You'll see Richard Dent here just go put a lot of pressure on. See how they're getting upfield? They're not sitting there having to worry about the run. They're being aggressive, just like you see the Dallas Cowboys do on defense.
3rd and 10 for the Chargers. Three-man rush. Friesz can't find anybody, sacked inside the 10. Richard Dent.
This is the one thing that concerns Bobby Ross about John Friesz's ability to not have, the term is escapability. A guy like a Stan Humphries has the opportunity to run, is quite a bit more mobile, maybe make a play. That's the only negative I think that they have about John Friesz, is he doesn't have the ability to move out and get away from the run.
Dent now with 8.5 sacks. That matches his total for all of last year. Terry Obi waits at midfield, big rush, and Kidd just got it out of there. Obi disdains the fair catch and takes it inside the 40-yard line. So the battle of field position has changed. The Bears, after a 7-yard return, have it inside the Charger 40. Chicago leading San Diego leading Chicago, 10-3. Yards per rush is always a good indicator on the productivity of a running back. Neil Anderson has seen that production drop significantly in the last 3 years. 86 and 87, he averaged 4.2, then 4.5 yards a carry. In 88, 4.4, then 89, a career high of 4.7. Down to 4.1 in 1990, then the decline, 3.5 in 91, 3.7 in 92. Last year, a career low, or this year, a career low, 3.2 for Neil Anderson. And more than 50% of his carries this year, 2 yards or less. Harbaugh floats it for Anderson too high.
You know, that's the second pass that he's tried to swing out and too high. You have to also, the statistic belongs to Neil Anderson as far as his decline goes over the last 3 years. But I think that's a direct result of the transition in the offensive line, Mike. That's really where it's made. You talk about any great running backs, the Eric Dickersons, the Walter Paytons. These are guys who ran behind offensive lines. The John Riggins behind the Hogs with the Redskins.
Hayward comes out, Christian in on 2nd and 10. Christian will get the carry, and Leslie O'Neal had him from behind. Burt Grossman from the front.
And on number 44, Bob Christian.
There is Worley. They want to work him in not only in 2 back sets and their big back package, but in place of Neil Anderson for some plays. He's certainly the future. Neil Anderson has also had the problem of being nicked the last 3 years. Only 3 seasons ago, he was described by many people as the most complete back in the NFL. And look at the drives. The Chargers' offense has disappeared. The Bears have really picked it up. 3rd and 9. Harbaugh with plenty of time over the middle for Waddle, and Sayal couldn't hold it. The first time they've gone for Tom Waddle, the ball was underthrown, and Junior nearly had a pick.
What they did is they got the coverage they want. Watch Junior. He's going to race back here and read the eyes. Watch him race back. He's just watching Harbaugh's eyes. Now he sees him want to go down the middle. He makes the play. That's a case, I think, where Harbaugh tried to make too good a throw.
And Junior Seau is one of the best people at suckering quarterbacks, making him feel that somebody is open, but he can get there.
That ball's underthrown also.
A 55-yard field goal attempt by Kevin Butler would be a career high. And he got it with plenty to spare. Butler drills one long range. The lead cut to 4.
I teach. Red.
Officially, I believe they're going to call that a 54-yard attempt. It would have, at 55, it would have matched his career long. I think this baby's good from 62. He crushed it.
He absolutely hits it dead solid. Great height on it, and this thing is in right from the beginning. From our goalpost cam going right over it. That's how perfect it was. Our goalpost cam sits right in the middle. Yes.
So the Bears getting momentum on their side. Here's Bieniemy. And he is dumped as he got to the 13-yard line. Vincent Smith on special teams, something Dave Wannstedt emphasized.
And the other thing is, with Eric Bieniemy back there returning kicks, you can't expect any big plays out of that Charger kickoff return team. I mean, it's just, he's not comfortable. This is not his forte as a kick returner. He's a little guy, doesn't have that niftiness to get on through a crease and take it up. I like this when the Chargers come out from the sidelines, because the Bears don't know what package of offensive people they're in.
Right now they have Ronnie Harmon in the backfield. Good point, Joe. Friesz with time, goes to Harmon. Excuse me, that's Miller up across the 25 to the 27. And we are at the 2-minute warning, with the Chargers leading the Bears 10-6. We'll be back to San Diego in a moment. Two minutes left in the first half. The Chargers jumped on top 10-0, but the Bears have come back to cut it to 4 points. Coming up at halftime, fastest 3 minutes in television with Chris Berman. Don Shula, a tribute to him as the NFL's all-time winningest coach. And we'll be back in San Diego with Joe's first half analysis of this one. Really been 2 games in one. San Diego winning the first quarter, the Bears the second. See what the Chargers can do in the final 2 minutes. Friesz to Walker, the H-back. He'll get about 7 across the 30. Jones on the stop along with Mangum.
I don't understand. They just call a timeout. Now, you've got
that is strange.
Yeah, well, you really don't need to. You've got 2nd down and 1. What you do is you come up and you run another pass play. If you don't make it, and you probably will, because they're in a prevent defense, so you hit Walker or Harmon, and it's going to be a gimme first down, and you save the timeouts till you get down closer to the goal line, where you have some run-pass options that you might want to consider.
Especially when you just had a timeout.
Yeah. I mean,
take a look at the video summary of this football game, which started totally in the Chargers' favor because of field possession. Leading 3-0, Carl Simpson makes a big play on special teams and blocks a 30-yard field goal attempt. That left it at 3-0. Then it looked like the Chargers would go for another field goal, but John Kidd, the former high school quarterback and safety, goes on the trick play and scores his first career NFL touchdown. That made it 10-0. Since then, we have had 2 Butler field goals. to cut it to 10-6. Eric Jonathan is on in the San Diego offensive line as they are getting very thin up there because of injuries. Friesz to screen. Harmon. Not much, but should be enough for a first down. Spotted out at the 37-yard line.
Maurice Douglas does an excellent job of getting in the middle of the screen, number 37, and catching Harmon from behind.
Stop the clock to look at the sticks.
Yeah, why do you call a timeout and then come back with a screen play? I mean, 2-minute preparation escapes me, and it concerns me a little bit because Bobby Ross is such a great believer in the little things. You know, he said, practice doesn't make perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect. And to me, to utilize your timeouts in a 2-minute drill like they have, doesn't really fit into, I think, the way he looks at a game with the little things making a difference.
Well, you're right about the attention to detail for Bobby Ross. Now, when attention to detail gets on a sign, you've got something going. Jefferson might have thought of going for the sideline, and Friesz will use another timeout at the 45-yard line on a 2nd and about 2.
This is where you sit down in the meeting. Sean Jefferson's only in his 3rd year, came with that deal from Houston that sent Lee Williams down to Houston. What you do now is you have to remind people that, hey, I have 2 timeouts. If I'm going to throw a ball to you on the sidelines, it's more important you get out and stop the clock than try and gain 1 or 2 yards. That's something Jack Riley, their quarterback coach, and really offensive coordinator, passing game coordinator, has got to sit down with his receivers and emphasize. Timeouts are valuable. 2 or 3 extra yards by a move inside, not going to make that much of a difference.
Certainly not on your side of the 50-yard line. Jefferson was a coveted player by Bobby Beathard when he was at Houston. Played at Central Florida.
Gives him the speed they want outside.
That was only his 10th catch of the season coming in, and the numbers on John Friesz so far. 1:18 to go, first half. Over the middle, complete. Johnny Barnes out of Hampton, a 9th-round draft choice who they cut and re-signed as a free agent.
Now what I think you should do is get up, spike the ball.
And that's what Friesz does with a 1-on-1. Oh, and a little pushing and shoving as Spellman comes in.
Well, that's one guy I wouldn't take on.
Not with those arms.
I don't care how big I am. I would not take him on. Whatever he weighs, 100 pounds of it is arms, 50 each.
Look at that.
Look at those guns. They look like they've been attached. Unbelievable.
Spellman, the youngest player on this team. He's only 21 years old. Out of Ohio State. 2nd and 10. Here comes the blitz. Pick it up very well, and Friesz for Miller. Couldn't hold it. There was contact, and Donnell Wolford fell down to leave Miller wide open, and he dropped it. Great throw by Friesz.
And I'll tell you, Anthony Miller's real lucky they don't call offensive pass interference on him on this one. Middle of the field. They've got a blitz. Friesz has got what he wants. Now there's that matchup we've seen on. Now watch Miller's left hand. See his left hand? He pushes Donnell Wolford down and then loses concentration on the ball. He got real lucky. And then again, Donnell Wolford got real lucky.
3rd and 10. Friesz throws behind Miller, and it was nearly picked off by Mark Carrier. So the Chargers see another opportunity disappear with 49 seconds to go in the half.
I don't know whether to, if I'm going to go plus minus on columns, I'd like to give the Bears a plus as far as 2-minute defense goes, but I got to draw the biggest minus for the Charger 2-minute offense. You've got to be able to move the ball into field goal range, at least when you got 3 timeouts and 2 minutes to go. I don't care where you start on the field. You have to be able to do it.
Of course, if Miller holds onto that touchdown, that doesn't make any difference. Kid to punt to Obi, sky high. And stopped inside the 5-yard line. Again, good special teams work. Hendrickson downfield to make the play. Their most versatile player, 136. And the Bears will take over with 39 seconds left in the half.
Darian Gordon, number 21, down there as well.
Gordon with a great speed. They expect he's going to be an outstanding defensive back with a little more experience.
He's a guy who trained all in the offseason with Jerry Rice. They had him in minicamp. He didn't look that good. He came back after spending all that time working with Rice. They said it was unbelievable what Jerry Rice did for Gordon.
Harbaugh well under 50% and only 50 yards in the first half. And the Bears, nothing fancy. They're just going to kill the clock down here. Dave Wannstedt will happily go to the dressing room down by only 4, the way his team was dominated most of the first half. Miller, with that missed opportunity, will lead his offensive teammates into the dressing room, and the Bears offense will try to regroup and get something started in the second half. That's the end of the first half. Our score, the Chargers 10, the Bears 6. Now let's join Chris Berman for the accurate halftime report.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. As we enjoy the Chargers and the Bears, we'll be going back to the Murph shortly. A wild Week 11 in the National Football League, and the big question, would this be Don Shula's magic moment? Looking for win number 325 to put him atop the all-time win list. Dolphins at the Eagles. Scott Mitchell ran and threw the Dolphins to an early lead, but left with a second-degree shoulder separation out at least 4 weeks. Will it be Peterson or DeBurn? Who knows? But the Dolphins leading 19-14 late. Ken O'Brien can't get the pass off. Shula, hoist one, Don. You got it. Miami beats Philadelphia 19-14. Guess who's at quarterback for the Cowboys? Aikman inactive. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Bernie Kosar for Dallas against Phoenix. His first pass complete. He completed his first 3, and he also threw a touchdown to Jay Novacek. Cowboys beat the Cards 20-15. Kosar threw for 199 yards, 13 of 21. With Bernie in Dallas, Todd Philcox was in Cleveland. Well, who needs Bernie? Well, maybe we do. Well, who needs Bernie when you got Todd Philcox against Seattle? Because he can obviously live. Well, maybe we do need Bernie on second thought. The Seattle Seahawks beat Philcox and the Browns 22-5. An old face back in L.A., Marcus Allen, first time. He was a pro in L.A., collegiate in L.A., and he still has the moves, this time for the Kansas City Chiefs. Look at him. Shuck, jive, run. 17 carries, 85 yards for Marcus against his old mates, the Raiders. And Dave Craig avoided Anthony Smith. Biggest win for Craig this year for the Chiefs. Chiefs have a 2-game lead over the Raiders. They win 31-20. They also have a 2-game lead over the Broncos because Mile High Magic wasn't enough. They could tackle the Vikings' Anthony Carter here and here. John Elway and company could run to a 20-3 lead, but they couldn't hold it. Tied at 23. Fuad Reve's good. The Vikes a big comeback. Win at Mile High 26-23. The Packers' Brett Favre had trouble on Monday night against the Chiefs. He had trouble for almost the whole game Sunday in New Orleans. But Brett Favre phoned home. He was home in the Bayou, and he threw it to Sterling Sharp with under a minute to go. Set up. Chris Jackie, his 4th field goal, good. The Packers win at New Orleans, 19-17. While New Orleans lost, could the Niners win? Steve, I got you, babe. Bono didn't need a lens that big to focus on the man. Jerry Rice, look at the catch he makes on the pass from Steve Young. And if you like that, this is better. Look at the catch he makes here. 4 touchdowns for Rice from Young. Shake, rattle, and roll to the Niners over the Buccaneers, 45-21. Jim Everett back in the saddle for the Rams, but it made no difference. At home against the Atlanta Falcons, Falcons looked like the steel curtain against Everett. It's a fumble. He was sacked 6 times. Bobby Hebert to Andre Bad Moon Rising. The Falcons sweep the Rams, winning this afternoon at Anaheim, 13-0. Oilers at the Bengals. In a hard Reen was going to fall big. The Oilers, after a horrible start, get back going. They sweep the Bengals, well, does it everybody, and Warren Moon again hot. 3 touchdown passes to Haywood Jeffries. The Bengals remain winless. The Oilers win 38-3 over the Bungles in the jungle. Redskins at the Giants. Dave Meggett says, Phil, now how do you throw that pass? I did it once against Washington. Think I can again? Yes, he can. Look at that little Meggett throw. Chris Callaway had a toe. The toe was in. Touchdown. Giants beat the Skins 20-6. Bruce Coslet's Jets have never won 3 in a row. But who can run the play action better than Boomer? No one. Fakes the camera. Fakes the Colts. Chris Burkett, TD. He had a pair. The Jets beat the Colts 31-17. They're rolling. We're rolling at halftime. When we return, Tom Jackson joins me. Lots of new faces and new places.
This halftime report is presented by Acura. Some things are worth the price.
Welcome back to halftime. Tom Jackson joins me. I hope he enjoys me. He joins me as the Chargers lead the Bears 10-6. Lots of new faces today, Tommy, around the league, but one old face, Don Shula, number 325, at the top of the heap.
It's over with now, and the concentration on the team and the success. And I want very much for this to think back sometime and remember that this happened in a year where the team was successful. So, you know, we got to get it together. Our quarterbacks are hurt. I was very upset when Scott Mitchell went down. You know, seeing Dan Marino on crutches and then Scott Mitchell going down, and then Doug Peterson stepping in there and being as cool and as calm as he was. I was just very, very happy about that.
Well, it'll be Peterson or Steve DeBerg for at least 4 weeks, with Marino already gone for the year. We told you the late word on Mitchell, gone at least 4 weeks with the shoulder separation. Bernie Kosar, 5 minutes left in the first quarter, Tom, looked pretty good for the Cowboys.
Chris threw the medium-range pass with a lot of zip on it, like the one he throws to Michael Irvin right here. And the amazing thing about this performance, only 3-4 days to prepare before he goes into the game. Conversely, Todd Philcox with the Cleveland Browns here, not feeling the pressure of the rush, something that he probably will do with time. Here, makes a pretty good throw. It's deflected and finally picked off for the interception by the Seahawks. So a rough learning experience right now for Todd Philcox.
And the big fridge in Philadelphia, he looked frosted.
Well, you just put the fridge in the middle of the field and you say, stay here.
Dan Reeves hired his old punter Mike Moran. Directional punting. Good direction for the Giants.
Yeah, great job of Jesse Armstead here, going up, getting the ball, flipping it back to Lewis Tillman. Very athletic move by the G-man.
Yeah, but let's not forget the guy that he cut, Sean Landeta, because he has been, and today as a Ram in his first game continues to be, one of the best boomers in the game. Sean Personal Landeta with a new home. Actually, he was the star today, I think, for the Anaheim Rams in their loss to the Falcons. Bernie Kosar, skills didn't look diminished to me, Tom.
Well, he's going to flourish with the Cowboys because of that supporting cast. He just is. But the thing is that I think Cleveland, anybody who saw Todd Philcox play today, you know they're going to struggle. The problems and the differences between Bill Belichick and Bernie Kosar must have been very severe.
Well, as we said on primetime, right now, after one game, it looks like the Browns cut their face off despite the nose. Tough. They've fallen out of first place momentarily, pending the Steelers game tomorrow night at home against the Buffalo Bills. We are at halftime of the Chargers and the Bears. The Lightning Bolts lead the Monsters of the Midway 10-6. More from the Murph when we continue with ESPN Sunday Night Football in a moment.
This portion of halftime is brought to you by Honda, who now provides a driver's and a front passenger's airbag, standard on every 1994 Accord, Prelude, Civic, and Del Sol models.
We're at halftime in San Diego, where the Chargers are leading the Bears 10-6. Welcome back to Jack Murphy Stadium, everybody. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann. The Bears, of course, as we pointed out, have not been a big play offensive team this year. Certainly wasn't for opportunity in the first half, though.
No, you don't get a lot of opportunities for big plays, but when you do get them, you have to capitalize on them. And in the first half, the Bears did have that opportunity. They tried a little pump and go because they felt that the Chargers secondary was vulnerable to it. You see Conway down the right of your screen. Harbaugh makes the pump. Now he starts to go, reloads, and lets it go. By then, the corner has closed the difference on Conway, and you wind up with a big incompletion, and you don't really get the play you want. It's terrible when you sit down, you design a play, and the execution is there as far as the wide receiver goes, but the quarterback can't deliver. And that's sort of been the problem of the Bear offense.
And Dave Wannstedt said he is still looking for the guy to make that big play on offense. We'll be back with the start of the third quarter. The Chargers and the Bears in just a moment. The Bears prepare to kick off from their 35-yard line. Chargers will get the ball as we start the third quarter, and Bieniemy, the deep man, takes it around the 8-yard line and does not get to the 20. Simpson downfield on special teams with the big hit. First half stats, it looked like it was going to be all Chargers. It still is in the area of total yards, 74 rushing, 61 passing. The Bears very little, but they have to feel good about their defense.
Well, what they really do, and the way you have to look at it offensively, and I think Ron Turner's done a good job, is as long as my defense is playing this well, I will play the game of field position, try and stay in it for 60 minutes.
Marion Butts opens at running back and gets the first carry. About 3 yards. McMichael hanging on to his knees. We alerted you to the fact, Joe said they needed to get the ball to Miller and Harmon early to get them in the ball game, and here's what they did in the first half. Would you be pleased with those numbers?
I would. I think, you know, considering series, you want guys to make plays. Of course, the one thing you don't see under receptions for Anthony Miller was in the 2-minute drill where he did drop the ball in the end zone, got away with a little push. That would have upped it a little bit.
Harmon is in on 2nd and 7. Friesz looks his way and throws, and Harmon couldn't hold it. Vincent Smith on the coverage. Gives Harmon a little hug. You get the feeling that both teams are just waiting for something to happen right now.
You know, you've seen it happen so long. The Chargers really had an opportunity to make something happen in the first 7 minutes of this game. They squandered those chances. Blocked field goals, winding up with a fake field goal for the touchdown. You're going to leave the Bears in the game. They're going to jump up and bite you, and that's what's happened to the Chargers so far.
3rd and 7. Little screen to Jefferson. And Dante Jones made that play. Dante Jones got a piece of him. Jefferson could have broken it for a big gain. As it was, they'd still get the first down. That's the second flanker or running back screen they've run.
Well, what they did is you saw the first one in the first half go to Ronnie Harmon. This one now goes to Sean Jefferson. Great idea with guys with great maneuverability. Run them back across the grain of pursuit. If they can make one guy miss, they can get to the other side where everybody's left.
And they have really shut him down since he had a good start. His first 4 carries, he had 20 yards. His last 5 carries, he's had 5 yards.
And John Friesz in the first half, see how he spreads the ball around offensively. You see, he's really worked a lot under 15 yards. He's dropped the ball out. I don't think they've really gone down the field quite enough. Only 4 times and had opportunities get away. But you see the way he spread the ball out. That means that the Bears have to defense the entire field.
Miller and Jefferson, the wide receivers, come to the near side on 2nd and 7. Draw to Butts. The Bears wrap it up. And Sean Gale, the strong safety, as they had 8 men near the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped.
You know, part of the reason why I think Dave Wannstedt is having success defensively in this game, remember, he coached with the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East. This Charger offense resembles the Washington Redskin offense to a large degree. That's why I think he's having the kind of success that he's having in this game, because this is not a new offense that he's seen.
Barnes and Harmon check into the lineup on 3rd and 6. 4-man rush. And Friesz under pressure. Down he goes again. The sack to Alonzo Spellman.
Alonzo Spellman's just going to come in hard. It's just a bull rush on Stan Brock. He's just going to get up the field. Now he just lowers that head, a little arm rip, And Friesz, instead of trying to step up inside, tried to get outside and wound up getting sacked.
The Bears came into the game 4th in the league with 25 sacks. They have 3 more tonight. Kidd the punt to Obi. Beautiful pick by Kidd. Obi at the 34. Nearly broke the tackle, got it back 7 yards to the 41. There's a flag down on the play. It came in very late near midfield. 43-yard punt, 7-yard return. We'll check the penalty. Very penalty-free game. And illegal use of hands, undoubtedly that illegal block in the back.
Illegal block in the back. Number 38 on the return team, on the run back. 10-yard penalty, first down.
It's only the second penalty flag we've had the entire game. It's 10-6 Chargers. Back in a moment.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, natural. Proud to be your Bud. And by Prodigy. Hundreds of services, millions of members. It's all live on the Prodigy service.
10-6 Chargers, 11:42 to go third quarter. Bears take over at their own 31. If there's ever been a game of field position, this is it. Harbaugh to Christian, can't hold it. Tried to get him in the flat, but Carrington was out there. We talked about the lack of Bears productivity with big plays. They haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver forever. The Chargers have had one after the other after the other. Look at this, 16 1,000-yard seasons for San Diego receivers. That's the best. The Bears zip. Dick Gordon was the last guy in 1971. Worley tries to run, gang tackled after a gain of maybe 2.
What's really killed the Bears on offense tonight is they have not been able to get any kind of yards on 1st and 10. All night Harbaugh is coming up 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 7. You're not going to convert your percentages of those. They've got to make something happen on 1st and 10 if they can pick up a first down here.
Anderson and Christian in the backfield together on 3rd and 8. The crowd trying to cheer on Junior Seau and the Chargers defense. They show blitz and back out of it. Harbaugh short over the middle, first down, out to the 44-yard line. Neil Anderson slipping out of the backfield.
Neil Anderson is the Bears version of Ronnie Harmon. He plays a little bit more. Harmon could. He has excellent hands, comes out, does a nice little, notice how he takes his time to make his route. He allows the linebackers to drop back. A lot of backs rush that, and they get into the linebackers too quickly. Great discipline on his route there.
Worley is back in the lineup. Hayward in front of him. Worley with the carry. Not much. Plummer on the bottom of the pile. The 8-year free agent out of California playing middle linebacker in the 4-3.
A pickup of 2 yards.
Right now, if you're an offensive coordinator, are you thinking don't make a mistake or make a big play?
I'm thinking of pound the ball. I want to pick up 4 yards somehow here. It looks like the corners are off a little. Maybe I run the rim. I think I got to give the ball to Worley and try and pick up 4 more yards.
Play action to Worley. Harbaugh under pressure, and Tom Waddle finally makes a catch. Dragged down by Seau at the 49. And the throw to Waddle is virtually a run in that offense.
He picks up 4 more yards. Waddle coming across in motion that time with the play action fake. You get the linebackers to hold for just a second, give him a step, and he'll make a play for you.
28th catch of the year for Tom Waddle out of Boston College.
Just doesn't seem like he's only played 4 years.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, he has really been the star of that Bear offense for so long.
3rd and 4. The Bears trying to keep the drive going. They've reached midfield. Comes the blitz. Waddle close to a first down. It all depends on the mark. Frank drilled him at the moment he caught the ball, but it will be very close.
Oh, he's got it. What a generous spot this was. Nice job by Harbaugh just getting this off. Here comes Sayal, right up the heart. Right up the middle. They pick him up with two people, Bortz and Anderson. Harbaugh plants, gets this off real quick. Waddle makes the reception. He gets a nice, generous spot, and it's 1st and 10.
By the nose of the football. Harbaugh with the chance to talk to Dave Wannstedt. The Bears down by 4, now in Charger territory.
I was talking earlier about how the Bears have done. There they are. 4 yards or more on 1st and 10. They've only gotten 5 out of 15. You've got to be up to 50% if you're using an effective offense.
Worley back in there. Another blitz. Sayal comes on the run blitz. And Blaze Winter, you always know when he's in on a stop, he comes up arms waving.
And the other thing is, too, is if Junior Sayal doesn't actually make a tackle, he's such a disruptive force that he allows his teammates like Winter to make a play. And he's not going to make this tackle. Number 55 is just filling. What he does is he just makes Hayward turn back on him. Therefore, you lose the lead blocker. Now you allow one of the linemen to come in and make a play.
And there is Peter Tom Willis warming up on the sideline. 2nd and 11 after the loss of a yard. Harbaugh with time. Short to Christian. Christian inside the 30, the 20, to the 11-yard line. Van Horst made the tackle there, but it's a gain of 36. Bob Christian out of Northwestern caught the pass in stride and galloped. 36.
We talked about discipline in the running of the routes. Watch him come out. He's going to make a little fake. That little fake allows the play to be set up. 55, Junior Sayal's chasing him. Junior's so quick to try and get in coverage. Christian does such a nice job. Discipline breaking in. Runs very well after he catches the ball, obviously.
Worley back in at tailback. Gets the football. Stopped shy of the 10-yard line. Maybe a yard and a half. Gary Plummer, the first man to hit him. Sean Lee was also there, as was Grossman.
This is where you have to have a wide receiver who can make a play one-on-one for you. This is where the Bears have to have somebody jump up, and they're hoping it's going to be Curtis Conway, number 80.
Inside the 20, in the bottom 4th of the NFL as far as touchdowns, given that many opportunities. And Christian was slow to get up for the Bears, and he'll get some medical attention. Really shuttled players in and out in the backfield. Hayward and Christian have played at fullback. Anderson and Worley, the running backs. They are not as deep at wide receiver. You talked about guys to make plays. Fred Banks was picked up by this ball club. Last week when he played, Tom Waddle was telling him the plays in the huddle as they broke, so you can't really ask a lot out of Fred Banks.
No, you got a very young group of guys out there. You know, the other thing is, too, is Tommy Waddle is your most senior member. With 4 years in this organization, of course, they're all first-year guys as far as the system goes.
We've got a timeout with 6:30 to go, third quarter. Chargers on top by 4.
59th Street, Tinley Park.
10-6 San Diego. Bears have the ball at the Charger 11-yard line. 2nd and 10.
I'm anticipating the Chargers have been blitzing a lot. I think here they come with the blitz again to try and get to Harbaugh. Fred Banks is in for Curtis Conway. That's 81 in for 80. He'd be the man I'd try and get one-on-one coverage with. Used to handling the ball from Dan Marino on the quick post down there in Miami. He'd be a guy to make a play.
Anderson and Hayward the backs. Play action, Harbaugh throws back tight end to the 5, to the 2 goes Keith Jennings. Well, I think San Diego was thinking the same way as they sent Waddle and Banks to the same side, rolled back and hit Jennings, the big tight end.
Nice job by Jennings, not going out of bounds, but picking up enough yards to get the first down. Or terribly close.
And Jennings looked like he came up limping a little bit. Chargers digging in. They have given up only 2 field goals.
I still think you got to put the ball in the air down here.
3rd and 2. Anderson. Line of scrimmage and no more. It looked like Seau got the first piece. Blaze Winter was the second man to hit him and then got plenty of help. Decision time.
Well, it is. I personally think you kick the field goal here. I think Dave wants that. You make it a 10-9 ball game. You're within a field goal. Your defense is playing great. This is a terrific decision. Junior Seau makes penetration, and there come the rest of the San Diego Chargers. They have not run the ball between the tackles tonight. They will not run the ball between the tackles. And to me, that's like a give-up down there.
Butler from 20 yards. He's already hit from 33 and 54, nails the chip shot. And on the strength of the leg of Kevin Butler, the Bears have pulled within a point. 4:55 to go, 3rd quarter.
The Flyers. The Penguins. The shots! The Red Hot Flyers face off against the Penguins. Tuesday live on ESPN National Hockey Night.
Chargers by 1. The Bears have had 3 field goals. The Chargers with a field goal. Their touchdown came on a fake field goal. It's been a kicker's dream night. 4:55 to go in the 3rd period. The scoring drive, 6:47. The best drive of the night for the Bears, 66 yards. They couldn't punch it in, chose to cut the lead to 1.
Blaze Winter all pumped. Well, there's a defensive tackle.
The enemy from the 12. As the seam, the hole closed quickly as he crossed the 25 to about the 27-yard line.
He's taken at the 12-yard line by Eric Bieniemy.
Blaze Winter. 9 years. Free agent. Went around selling himself literally.
Had a videotape.
His wife drove all over the place. Finally wound up in San Diego. They says, give me a chance. It's all I want.
And had a wonderful season last year on that defensive line. Comes back as a starter.
He's got a place and a purpose.
Certainly got a spirit. The Chargers, who have done virtually nothing on offense since the 1st quarter, bring in Natron Means at running back behind Friesz. Leads to throw on 1st down if he can get away from Richard Kent. And does the smart thing and sends it behind the bench. That's the new intentional grounding rule where you don't call it once you've broken containment. That's worked out very well this year.
It has. It's protected quarterbacks, and I think it's been good for the game. But here's how Dent puts the pressure on. Harry Swain just tries to cut him. He gets him almost to the ground, but unless you've got Richard down completely and laying on top of him, he can run down any quarterback in the league. That time he flushed Friesz to the right, made him throw it away.
Friesz on 2nd and 10. A lot of contact, no flag. Dwayne Young wanted the interference. Vincent Smith diving with him for the ball.
You get a linebacker and a tight end locked up. Sometimes they'll throw flags, sometimes they won't. There's the play.
You just got to give him that one, don't you?
Well, he just reached through. I don't know whether he had the hand on the back of him or not. He went out to try and make a play on the ball.
Looked like pretty good defense.
Incidental contact. Good play.
Vincent Smith, the speed to stay with any. Here comes the blitz on 3rd and 10. Friesz unloads from Miller. Little pushing match, and Wolford is right there. Anthony Miller could have been called for interference that time.
These two have been locked up in a great matchup all night. Two great young athletes. They've got a blitz on. Miller reads it. See how he looked inside? He saw the safety go. He knows he has a go on. But Wolford also realizes he's not going to let Anthony Miller behind him. That's one thing he told me last night. He said, I'm going to keep Anthony Miller in front of me all night. So far, he has.
The Chargers had to punt their last 5 series after moving the ball well the first 3 times they had it. Kid, a low line drive kick. Chance to return for Obi. Midfield had to slow up for the kicker and caught from behind by Hendrickson inside the 40. A return of 24 off of a punt of 34.
Now, this is where the special teams and the defense goes by the offense and says, you got to get something done.
The Bears winning the battle of field position. (10-9) San Diego over Chicago. You know you have to have a nasty streak to play linebacker. We asked Junior Seau what he enjoys about that position.
I love to approach the line and see a lineman look at me dead in the eye, and I can tell that he's just going to come full board. And I'm acting like I'm going to come with him and hit him in the head, under his chin, and show that ego. And then I just move to his side, and he just flops. And, you know, that's funny. I have a great time doing that. But, you know, when they're not ready, I'll put it under their chin.
He's a player. Harbaugh play action. Airs it out. Conway, touchdown. Sean Van Horst is beaten. Harbaugh on the money to Conway. That is only the third touchdown pass this year of more than 20 yards.
This is just an excellent job of execution. That time you saw Jim Harbaugh throw the ball with the proper timing, didn't double clutch it, just hung it up and let Curtis Conway make a play. Dave Wannstedt finally got somebody to make a big play on offense.
And Bobby Ross has seen enough of his secondary beaten deep this year to last him a lifetime.
Extra point try is good.
Curtis Conway, you're going to see him go down, make the move, and go again. They had it one time before. He'll get it again. See him go down? Little hesitation, same play they had. Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator, coming back with something that worked before. That time you saw Harbaugh release it with the correct timing. Perfect. That's what would have happened the first time. But here he does an excellent job of concentrating, even with body contact.
And Harbaugh with a chance to celebrate. That's his 6th touchdown pass this season. That's 6 in 9 games. That's not a lot of celebration.
That was just a well-executed play.
And Conway, a young man who has not played wide receiver very much in his lifetime, only 1 full year in college.
Ron Turner, the gentleman on the left, he's looking at his videotapes. He's looking at his films.
Short kickoff, return to about the 26-yard line. Harmon gets it up to that point.
By Ronnie Harmon.
Well, we talked about the Chargers giving up big pass plays. 27 coming in of more than 20 yards. The one tonight burned them for a touchdown. Could have been 2 if the timing had been correct in the first half. Van Horst playing as one of the new corners. Of course, Gilbert, the Pro Bowler, perennial Pro Bowler, injured and out for the year.
I think John Friesz is on the hot seat in this series. He's got to make something happen on offense, or he could get the hook before this game is over.
Natron Means is his running back. And he'll get the carry on first down. Absolutely nothing. Trace Armstrong and Ron Cox, number 54, along with Carl Simpson. And the Bears have been tough since the opening quarter.
We talked about Junior Seau creating havoc. Watch Chris Zorich here for the Bears do it. He gets his head in the gap. They have to block him. He takes up 2 people and allows his teammates to come in and make a play. Chris Zorich out of the #1 ranked University of Notre Dame.
And it looked like left tackle Harry Swain jumped early. Could cost the Chargers 5.
Number 72 on the offense prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
And that's Harry Swain. There's another guy who hasn't played the position all that much, a converted defensive lineman.
This is a place where if you're a quarterback, you've got to take some charge. You've got to make a first down happen somehow, some way to get your offense ignited here. Look at the eyes on Stone. Mike Singletary's eyes have been implanted in someone else.
Second, 15. Time for Friesz to throw, and it's Miller across the 40, first down. That's the best throw John Friesz has had in the second half, Joe.
That's a nice job. He set back real good. Anthony sat down in the hole, gave him a place to go with it. That's an excellent execution by the quarterback. Good job by John Friesz. Anthony Miller looking for the soft spot in the defense. Comes around the linebacker, makes the play, gets upfield.
Means back in as they set up in the eye. Means to get the carry. And Chicago's really made some adjustments, playing much better against the run.
San Diego is not going to make a living, just like we talked about Chicago not making a living, gaining nothing on 1st and 10. San Diego is not going to want to be stuck in 2nd down and 9s, 3rd down and 9s all night. Percentages are not in your favor that you're going to be able to convert them. And they've got to come up with a score in this drive.
Means 4 yards on his last 4 carries as we wind down toward the end of the 3rd quarter. Comes the blitz. Friesz and through the hands of Shawn Jefferson. Boy, you know what's going through his mind. You gotta catch that ball.
He catches that, he's gone. And he is out of sight, gone. Jeremy Lincoln tries to make a play. Watch, top of your screen. Here's the break off. There's the catch. Lincoln's not going to get, he doesn't even get a hand on him. That's got 6 all over it. He beats the defender in blitz coverage. That's 6 and gone.
Both teams have squandered big play opportunity. Friesz comes back the other way, and Jefferson will make this catch at the Bear 43, a first down. Now that's showing some confidence in a young receiver.
Actually, what it is also, Mike, is it's reading the defense properly, going to the person that has the one-on-one coverage. Obviously, if you got Anthony Miller on one side, he's just made some big plays. Double cover him, go to the other guy.
Yeah, but you know there are some quarterbacks, if a guy drops a ball like that, he's not going to get it again for a while.
Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right. We do hold grudges.
First down Chargers, 1:05 to go, 3rd quarter. Kane comes on the blitz. So does Gale. Friesz unloads right down the middle, and nobody there. Miller was about 5 yards away. 2 of the Bears collided on him.
That is the 2nd time tonight that Sean Gale's presence has created a problem. When Natron Means tried to use that run-pass option,
right,
it was Sean Gale that broke it up and caused him to throw it late. On this play, he comes on a delayed blitz, and he's going to get in Friesz's face and cause Friesz to throw this thing too far. Here's Gale. He's coming in. He's just going to create enough of a problem for Friesz that he can't step up comfortably. Watch. See? He just gets there. Now, Miller's wide open crossing, but can't make the play.
Draw to Means. Room to run. Natron Means inside the 34-yard line. Looks like he's about a half yard shy of a first down. Joe Kane made the tackle.
Number 59, Joe Kane. And number 23, Sean Gale.
Number 53, Courtney Hall, the senior member of this offensive line. There they are right in the middle. Dante Jones, he's going to get driven back, and Natron's going to make a big play. All he does is give him a side to take. Whichever way my rear end goes, you go the opposite. That's the rule.
3rd, less than a yard. Hendrickson in as the up back. Means has the first down. Joe Kane went for the ball and nearly swiped it. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. San Diego penetrating into Bears territory, but they are down by 6 to Chicago.
Network, and it's in a league of its own.
The Chargers had not moved the ball at all since the first quarter. They're moving it now on this drive. What are they doing differently?
I think what they're doing, Mike, is, first of all, we said John Friesz would have to get something going. I think he realized it, but they're throwing the ball more in earlier downs. You can't throw when you have to. You have to throw when you want to. If it's 3rd and 10, obviously you have to throw. If it's a 1st and 10, you have the run-pass option.
Time certainly to get something going, down by 6 as we start the 4th quarter. First and 10 Chargers means the single setback. Friesz had it batted up in the air and nearly picked off by Trace Armstrong. That's the problem with a short set. If you have a guy who's not cut, he can get the arms up.
You brought up a very good point there. If he's not cut, watch the tackle. The tackle does not make the cut. Brock doesn't get his hands down. You've got to get his hands down. You've got to make him leery of his knees or his ankles or something so that he gets his hands down to protect it. Also, the cut's got to be timed with the delivery of the throw. If you're cut too soon, like we saw on that one, he jumps up and bats it in the face.
Harmon and Bieniemy in on 2nd and 10. Harmon makes the catch outside the 20, very close to a first down. Depends on the spot. And it looks like a generous one inside the 21-yard line.
Tackle by number 53, Dante
Harmon is just so good coming out of the backfield.
38 receptions coming in.
Timeout for measurement.
You know, it's interesting. His average per catch is only 9.5 yards, and that's about what he got right there, 9.5 and a little less.
First down,
and it is slightly short of a first down.
Really not big enough to go every down. Probably could go every down, but I think you'd use him up too much. I feel like the Chargers really pick and choose and use him very well.
The offense and defensive picture certainly turned around in the second half. Harmon, the most valuable player for the San Diego Chargers the last 2 years. 3rd and a foot. Friesz, quarterback keeper across the 20, first down.
Friesz off the keeper.
Joe Theismann's least favorite play in the entire playbook.
You've got Natrone Means at 240, Marion Butts at 250, and if I was the quarterback, you'd have a 190-pound, well, when I used to play, a 190-pound guy trying to sneak the ball. I mean, I always thought that guys who were carrying 60 more pounds would be more effective.
Bears shuffling personnel on defense. It's 1st and 10. Friesz has Harmon wide open and overthrew him. Harmon was sort of backing up on that one. Record crowd here at Jack Murphy Stadium, 63,000 plus. The Budweiser storyline. Butler has been marvelous for the Bears, 33, 54, and 20. Friesz has hit just under 50%. San Diego's only touchdown came on a fake field goal. The total yards now much closer. San Diego approaching 200. 2nd and 10 Chargers. Comes the blitz. Friesz throws complete. Harmon got to the 11-yard line before he was pushed back by Jeremy Lincoln. Even when he's covered by a defensive back, he still makes play.
And it's interesting, they did not cover him with the safety. Normally when you split a running back out, you're going to wind up in one-on-one coverage with the safety. Harmon has they have so much respect for him, they cover him with a corner, Jeremy Lincoln, number 39. Lincoln does an excellent job, though, of locking up and making the tackle.
Again, 3rd and short. Last time they went with a quarterback keeper. Means gets the call this time and dives forward. He's very close. I don't think he got it.
He doesn't. He comes up short. Great job of submarining, taking his legs out from underneath him.
Number 76.
And makes a play. Dante Jones, the middle linebacker, really doing such a terrific job. That guy, he's going to come in low, cut him down, and not allow him to get that yard. Watch this. Takes on the blocker, gets down low. That's a 2-for-1 job.
Superb individual play. No thought of a field goal, 4th and inches. Means. First down. Ron Cox made the saving tackle.
And where do you go? You go behind the 14-year veteran Stan Brock on the right side. Go right over the right tackle. That's what this is what offensive linemen live for. Give me the responsibility of making a block. There's the right side. Hendrickson does a good job on Smith. Big hole. Good job by Brock clearing out.
First and goal, San Diego. Means. Had room outside but couldn't get there. Sean Gale and Dante Jones combined to make the tackle.
Dante Jones for so long lived in the shadow of Mike Singletary, and I'll tell you something, he's playing this position like the legendary Mike and the Butkus is meant it to be if you're a Chicago Bear. Having a sensational night, making plays all over.
He had 99 tackles in 8 games, averaging over 12 stops a game coming in. 17th play of this drive for the Chargers. Friesz looking for Miller. Can't find anybody. Throws underneath. Nearly picked off by McMichael.
Jeez, not a good decision. Not a good decision. That's
McMichael liked it.
When they get to that play in the films, the coach is going to tell them not a good decision. Way too much traffic. They tried to run a screen down close. Now Friesz is looking off. Now he's looking for Harmon on the check down, and he almost hits McMichael in the hands.
I don't know if Steve McMichael could sprint 95 yards after 14 years. Would have been fun to see him try. 3rd and goal from the 8. Comes the blitz. Miller had it knocked away by Wolford, and what a battle they've had all night long. That was like a basketball pass. Miller set up and had the man on his back.
And the problem with this is the pressure caused John Friesz not to get everything on. Watch this. Here comes the blitz. He has to throw off his front foot, not his back, so the ball doesn't have a lot of zip on it. Donnell Wolford, again, doing a great job. This is a terrific one-on-one matchup.
An all-pro night for Wolford. And Carney will come on as they have to go for the field goal. 2 out of 3, now 3 out of 4. They've cut the lead in half to 16-13. Donnell Wolford has been brilliant. The way Donnell Wolford is playing this year, you have to put him in the same category with a Woodson, a Green. He has reached that level at this point in his career.
He's become a very mature, very technically studying type of a corner. And Anthony Miller has had a couple get away from him in the end zone.
Conway, the center deep man, drifts to his left, takes it at the 2. And wrapped up before the 15. Brought down by James Fuller, an excellent special teams play. The Chargers with that drive, 67 yards, and they have to settle for a field goal after holding the ball for 8 minutes. That's the 14th scoring drive they've had this year, and 9 have ended in field goals that have been very, very long.
And it's a little bit disheartening when you go for it on 4th and 1 and you still only come up with a field goal.
Now the crowd wants the defense into it. Worley at running back. Worley has the first down out across the 25-yard line. Donald Frank shoved him out of bounds.
A lot of times, young backs try and run too quick. Watch Worley here. He's going to set up his blocks. He's patient. See how he slows down? Now he accelerates, lowers his head, and knocks the defensive backs back.
And that was Tom Waddle out there blocking for him. 185-pound wide receiver. Sarah hoping to make a big play. His club down by 3. Harbaugh throws on the run, and Waddle with the catch, and then hammered inside the 35-yard line.
Tom Waddle's strength, work under 20 yards. I don't really think anybody can cover him one-on-one. I think he's so disciplined and continues to work and work and work. Jim Harbaugh, I think, paid him the ultimate compliment. He said on every play, he's trying to figure out a way where he can make more happen. Here he knows he's in traffic, so what's he going to do? He's going to cover up the ball and make sure that nobody can strip it away. Always thinking a little bit ahead.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2. 9:32 to go in the game. Anderson on the draw, first down. Carrington and Van Horst had to make the tackle up at the 44.
We talked about the troubles that the offensive line that the Bears have had. They have really come on. And they did it in the Raider game a week ago.
Yes,
in
they
the
did.
second half, the offensive line took control of the line of scrimmage and almost had them have an opportunity to pull out a big victory against the Raiders last week.
A lot of new faces along that line. They're doing the job right now. And around Conway. Going to the back pages of the playbook to make something happen.
I know this is not in Bill Arnsparger's nature, but what I would do right now is, knowing that probably the weakness of the Chicago Bear offense is their wide receiver position, I would load up between the ends and bring a lot of people. I would blitz people, and I would put pressure on Harbaugh. It'll disrupt the run, and it'll also maybe make him make a bad throw. That's what I would do defensively if I was the Chargers.
Ironhead gets his first carry and bowls his way to the 36-yard line. Hendrickson, the first man to hit him. Ironhead is one of those rare players who would rather block than carry the football.
He's a rare player. There aren't too many guys 5'9", 320 pounds around. You're right, Mike.
It was really a trade of free agents. Yeah, trade of free agents with New Orleans. Brad Muster, the fullback here a year ago. Hayward was in with the Saints. Chicago gained about 100 pounds in the deal.
Got about 800 pounds of running back in this game.
2nd and 9. Bears may have jumped off, or the Chargers may have jumped offside. Hayward, a little fancy sidestep. And then dragged down at the 29-yard line. We'll check the penalty flag.
It's going to be the Chargers offside, and Dave Wanstadt's got a real interesting decision. Does he want to go 3rd and 1, or does he want to have 2nd down and a possible 3, or 2nd and 4? Whatever it is, he's nodding yes to.
Offside on the defensive nose tackle. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
It was Sean Lee who jumped early. 300-pounder out of Northern Alabama.
I think it's a good decision. I think you always take that extra down.
2nd down, call it a long 3, a short 4, just outside the 30. 2 fullbacks in the game. Hayward, the deep man. Harbaugh to throw, blitz, intercepted. Gary Plummer cut in front of Christian and made the pick. Three plays ago, I believe Joe Theismann said, I'd blitz them and make something happen. It took them 3 plays, but they did it. Chargers ball when we come back.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by Burger King and its Everyday Value Meal, where you can have it your way. I love this place. And by the Lee Apparel Company, with regular, relaxed, and loose fit jeans and casual pants. Lee is the brand that fits.
Jim Harbaugh with the interception and a very costly play for the Bears. Chargers take over outside their own 30. And Friesz goes to work to Jefferson up at the 45-yard line. driven back by Jeremy Lincoln. Let's take a look at the interception, Joe.
Well, what happens, there they are, Steve Hendrickson and Gary Plummer, 50 and 34. There's Plummer right there. Now, Hendrickson's going to come in, put pressure. Plummer's just going to mirror the back and step right in front. He's got Christensen all the way, just jumps right in front. Harbaugh actually threw him the ball. Jim knows he should have thrown this one away with the pressure, trying to make something happen. It winds up getting away from him.
They were in field goal range at the point. Even an incompletion would have made it 3rd and 4. Means no place to go. Strung out by Dent, and then Dante Jones filled.
Dave Wannstedt said something about Dante Jones after the first game against the Giants. Dante had 15 tackles in that game. He said, I don't want to take away from the great job that he's done. He said, but our middle linebacker cannot be making that many tackles in a game. Well, he certainly made a ton of them tonight. They need to get more penetration by somebody up in the front 4 to take some of the pressure off of Dante Jones.
Especially with that one-gap system. They're supposed to make plays up front. 2nd and 11. Friesz unloads, has his H-back Walker down to the 45, about a yard shy of a first down. Derek Walker out of Michigan.
I think this right here is a great place to run a play-action pass at a short yardage. The reason why is that the Bear defense is going to be geared up to try and stop it. What you do is you fake a tailback run to Natrone and try and hit one of your H-backs or tight ends out in the flat. Send somebody deep, maybe you get the big one, but check them out in the flat.
Steve Hendrickson. Hendrickson was having trouble with his helmet, and Friesz had to burn a timeout because of it. 4:46 to go in the ball game. We'll be back to San Diego in a minute. 16-13, Chicago, 4:46 to go in the game. That picture from the Goodyear Blimp Eagle. And Goodyear Blimps log over 100,000 miles every year covering major sporting events. And they do it at about 6 miles an hour.
Yeah, they don't go very fast. And they're quiet, too. Not like Junior Seau.
The Chargers in 1993, the 2nd best 3rd and short conversion rate in the NFL. Means drags tacklers with him for a first down. And Natron Means did that one on his own.
So it makes him special. He's a big back with nifty little feet. That time he picked his way a hole and then used his weight to pick up the first down.
Gave Spellman a ride of about 3 yards. Time now certainly a factor. 4:15 to go. Guns this one incomplete, and Wolford is all over Miller.
You see, now this is where I don't think the Bears defensively have the same type of advantage that the Chargers would have.
Why?
Because I think that the wide receivers of the San Diego Chargers, you don't want to get them locked up one-on-one with your defensive backs. I think the Bears are going to stay basic. And you see Wolford, he's just not going to let Miller behind him. Now he closes on a throw that's high and right.
And tonight, Wolford has done everything but wear Miller's uniform for him. 4-man rush, draw to Means. Slips a tackle, and then trips over Brock.
Chris Sorge, number 97, makes the play. What he does is he gets in and gets the penetration to disrupt everything. There he is, number 97. He's going to fire into the backfield. And then Natron's not going to have anywhere to go. Look, nice spinner move. Good little spinner. Now Means gets away, but watch Brock's feet. Brock trying second effort, wound up tripping him.
3rd and 9. Clock ticking down to 3:28. Harmon back in the ballgame. Friesz throws complete. That'll be a first down to Barnes, the second-year man out of Hampton. And the Bears really beefing about the spot of the ball.
You see the ball, it's spotted just past the 31. Now remember, it's forward momentum. Where does he stop his momentum? He's there. Now he's driven back. Your guess is as good as mine.
Can't tell from that angle. But it's a first down nonetheless outside the 30. Friesz into the flat. Walker to the 25-yard line. Certainly within Carney's range now. 2:34 to go.
I talked before, the series before, you couldn't commit the defense to bring linebackers and safety people. I think you have to now. I think you have to stop them here and get yourself down close to the 2 minute, because they're going to let the clock run down close to 2 minutes. Now, if I was the San Diego Chargers, I would not run a play.
They don't have to. But they will, and give it to Means. Means to the 23. Just inside that, Joe Kane makes the tackle. And we have reached the 2-minute warning here in San Diego, with the Bears hanging on to a 3-point lead. Two minutes left. Dave Wanstad of the Bears needing a win to go to 4-5 and keep their slim playoff chances alive. Bobby Ross on the right needing a win to stay within 2 games of the lead in the AFC West. The Bears dig in on 3rd and 2. Means slipped one tackle. He has to get inside the 21, and he did not make it. It will bring up 4th down.
Number 23, Sean Gale, in on the stop. I think the Bears got to burn a timeout here.
Here comes Carney.
The Bears have got to use it. They're letting the clock get away from them. Well, I just don't agree with this decision at all. You could have stopped the clock with 1 minute and 55 seconds to go. And as it turns out, you're probably going to wind up with it back at just around a minute.
Carney is hit from 26 and 28. Had one from 30 block. This is from 40 to tie the game. And he missed it. The Bears know exactly how it feels. That's the way they lost a week ago. And Bobby Ross looks stunned. John Carney, a supremely reliable kicker for this ball club since his rookie year when he struggled. 4th quarter field goals this year, 7 out of 9. That's one of the biggest of his career.
You're always concerned about the hold when a kicker misses it, but John Kidd does a great job of getting the ball down. Carney just pulls this one to the left.
And San Diego now, because they had to burn the 1 timeout. Remember earlier when Hendrickson had the loose chin strap and Friesz burned a timeout, they only have 2 left. Anderson out to about the 24, and they'll stop the clock with 1:07 left.
You know, Mike, right here, the Bears' philosophy looks like they're going to be content to run the ball down. Remember, only 25 seconds comes off the clock. So if you figure the Bears run another play on 2nd down, they're going to call timeout right away. All right? So what's going to happen is it's going to be a minute to go. Then they're going to go on 3rd down, have 25 seconds, and then punt the ball. Conceivably, you're going to leave the Chargers with the possibility of 2, maybe 3 plays and another shot at tying this game if you don't get a 1st down. I'd still try and pound the ball and make a 1st down. I wouldn't be content to sit where I am.
But after 3rd down, and SportsCenter, of course, coming up right after our broadcast, after 3rd down, the Chargers can't stop the clock. The clock would go back to the 40 seconds, correct?
But don't forget, your punter's going to be kicking from somewhere around the 5-yard line, and Carney's got a good foot. All he's going to need is 1 completion and somebody to get out of bounds, and they're going to have a shot at tying this game.
The wheels turning on both sidelines. Anderson again. The Chargers sell out. Anderson gets outside. Went out of bounds, but he did it at the 34. It's a 1st down, and that ought to do it. Big run.
Oh, great individual effort. Great individual effort. Neil Anderson, that whole play was designed to go inside. The Chargers give up contain. Leslie O'Neal gets blocked inside. You see a terrific block on the corner by number 84, Chris Gedney, allowing Anderson to make the turn and get outside. Now you can sit down on it. Now it's over.
Harbaugh will take the knee. The Chargers can stop it one more time, but the Bears, barring a fumble, have won it and raised their record to 4-5. The Chargers will drop to 4-5.
Mike, you have to look back to the first 5 minutes of this football game when the Chargers were in total control and dominance, could not come away with points.
They spent the whole first quarter on the Bears' side of the 50-yard line. The Bears' defense hung in there, hung in there, hung in there. And then after the first quarter, they've only given up 3 points.
And the Bear offense finally came up with one big play. The Harbaugh to Conway touchdown pass turns out to be the difference in the ballgame for them. That defense should celebrate. They played terrific.
And the life of a kicker, last week it was Kevin Butler missing a chance to beat the Raiders. This time, John Carney with a chance to send the game into overtime. And Donnell Wolford had a whale of a game at corner. He was just brilliant. That's the final score from San Diego. 16-13. Bears over the Chargers. For Joe Theismann and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from San Diego. Sports Center after this.